Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to review the Arbor Terrapin PFD, the third generation of the Arbor Terrapin. If you're shopping online, you're looking for affiliate links or just an easy way to click and buy, we got those links down in the description below so that way you don't have to go hunting for it. This board features Arbor's system rocker, and it's a little different on this board. It's got a longer flat section, so it's not a full U from the center. It's a little more subdued, and then it kind of rockers out at the tail. The nose is obviously longer, and they also put 3D shaping in the nose and the tail, so this kind of bevels up the edge, and it's gonna help funnel out that powder, while that rocker is just gonna allow it to just climb up on top of that fresh snow. This board is available in 146 and 152. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on a day that was mostly bluebird, and over the previous 24 to 36 hours, we'd gotten about 1 foot to 1.5 feet in spots up to 2 feet. So there's a lot of fresh powder with some crust underneath it because obviously it had been baking for 2 weeks before then. You had some chopped chunder, you had powdery groomers, fresh corduroy, just kind of a mix of everything. And I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. So here's the big thing with this board. You look at it, clearly it's gonna have a directional flex and it's rocker. So what you get is more play in the nose, and then where it starts to flatten out is the stiffest section through the inserts. And then the tail, it gets a little softer because you do have that cutout in there. So what you got going on with that cutout is if you're flat basing, stiffer. On edge, it's gonna be a little softer because it's gonna flex a little bit more. The torsional flex feels a little more rigid, but that's just due to the width. You can actually ankle steer this with minimal muscling. Stability-wise, if you're cruising flat, it's stable. You get up to speed though, this nose starts to chatter and that will reverberate back underfoot. You go to do a slash in some fresh snow and you hit some crust underneath, you're gonna feel it. This board is basically damp if the conditions are perfect, but you hit something underneath, you're gonna feel it. It's just one of those things with it. It's not the most mind-blowing snap on this board. With that rocker, you just sort of roll back on the tail and it's delayed. It's not like a skate-like pop. It more or less, you hit a point and it kind of flicks and then you pop up. It's good for porpoising in fresh snow, but if you're trying to boost something, it takes more effort than you would think for it. Basically, this board wants to stay on the ground for the most part and just slash. All right, so we're about halfway through this video. Why don't you give it a thumbs up? And if you haven't already, go down, subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for you. And believe me, there's videos, there's content, and then there's programming, and we've got you covered on everything. Clearly it's rocker, so you can roll back and forward if you really want to, but with the way the abrupt hull shaping is on this, the nose kind of hooks up when you're going sideways with it. You can feel that catching and you have to muscle through it. So if you pop a 180, it's gonna be a little bit better, but if you're just trying to like swizzle and sizzle, you're gonna feel that under the nose and it grips and it kind of drags on it. Now, there is a flex point right outside the insert pack and you really want to balance your weight on the nose for that. With the tail, it's so stubby, you're basically just doing wheelies. I mean, there's not much to it. You can see that there. This board's not winning any awards for carving, let's be honest with you. It's made for POW and that's what it's for. The width, the shape, the camber profile, all that, right? Short, tight, quick carves, medium, mellow carves, pretty much what it's gonna handle. So basically, if you get on edge and you're cutting across a groomer at the resort trying to get to POW, you can get it there, it'll hold, you can kind of swoop with it, but you really want to be riding this more in fresh POW. That's what it is. If you try to lay it over, there's nothing to it. It just doesn't give you what you want out of it. There's other boards in this category that grip way better. You know, so keep it mellow, you know, try to only ride this in fresh snow. It's totally a quiver board. Rider in mind, this board is definitely for someone that just wants to slash turns and ride POW. It's a quiver board, in case you haven't caught that yet. Like what we're doing over here? Want to support us further? Swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. So this is better than the old version. I'll give it that. It's got better edge hold when you get on a groomer. It's not as much of a death sled. Still not as good as it could be. It doesn't have as much grip as you would ideally want, but that's fine. Fresh snow, It's good. This is better in lower angle or tighter trees. It's easy to slash and whatnot with it. At the end of the day, I think there's people that are gonna really like this. One thing I would want you to know is set your stance more forward on this. That way you can really press into that flex point outside the front foot. That's gonna help subdue that nose chatter at speed, and this is gonna ride a little bit better. If you set it more back, this is gonna flap more, and you're gonna have some more issues. So that's pretty much the only thing I can really think about that would dictate some changes with this board. So just run it a little more forward. You should have a good time with it. It was an okay board. The conditions were great for this. Really fun in trees. It's a little sluggish due to the width and the torsional flex. I think that could be fixed, or it'll break in, but by and large, I mean, there's definitely someone that's gonna really enjoy this. And if you had the older Terrapin and you hated how it was when you got on a groomer, this should be better. Comparable boards: the Korua Uber Egg, the Ride Psychocandy, the Nitro Slash. Binding recommendations: the Arbor Hemlock, the Union Strata, the Ride Specter. All right, this has been my review of the Arbor Terrapin PFD, personal flotation device, or personal float device, I don't know what it is. Anyways, if you're not feeling this review, go watch another one. You know you want to. Treat yourself.